Hello there everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're here with a pretty interesting, yet weird coin. This is the double florin. Now, those of you who are even familiar with the pre-decimal system might not even recognise the term double florin. Well, don't worry. These coins were pretty weird and were only minted for 4 years, from 1887 up until 1890. A double florin meaning it's only worth 4 shillings. I say only, but 4 shillings is quite a lot of the time, to be fair. Now, these coins were only minted for 4 years because they weren't very popular with the public. Now, this is something you can tell just by the nickname alone, as the nickname of Barmaid's Ruin doesn't necessarily sing its praises. Now, it was called this because it was a similar size to a crown, and it said that a barmaid who was working in quite a poorly lit pub, because bear in mind, these are Victorian times, the lighting would have been nowhere near as good as it is today, were quite prone to basically accepting one of these coins as a crown rather than as a double florin, which is a whole shilling's difference. Because the situation would basically be like this. Oh, hi, yes, I've just finished my pints, I'd like to pay it off. Here you go, here's a crown. And then the barmaid would go, feels about right, it's about the correct size, about the correct weight. Yeah, that's a crown, because they probably weren't able to see the designs very clearly, considering how dark it was inside of a pub at the time. But, with that out of the way, I think it's time that we ignore this coin's disastrous, disruptive past, the past of ruining barmaids' careers and getting them fired, and look at something a bit more positive about it. Let's go through its statistics, and we'll go straight to its design. So, this coin here is a silver coin, sterling silver to be exact, so 0.925, has a weight of 22.62 grams, a diameter of 36 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.6 millimeters. So, let's get straight to it and talk about this design. The design here at the top features the date. Mine says 1889, but obviously there are a few other versions, the 1887, the 1888, and the 1890 versions as well. This coin here, for the rest of the lettering, just says FID, DEF, Brit, and Reg. Now, this translates from Latin to Queen of the Britons, Defender of the Faith. Now, my Latin is quite bad, and I apologise for everyone listening that can actually understand what I'm saying, but I believe the full terminology should be Fidei Defensatrix Britarium Regina. Once again, meaning Faith, Defender, Britain, Queen, Queen of all Britons, Defender of the Faith. And yeah, let's now go look at the design work a little closer. So you'll see here in the centre, we have a garter star. And around the garter star, you'll see that we have 4 different sceptres. Now, this sceptre here is tipped with a harp. This one here is tipped with a thistle, and I believe these are tipped with 2 different roses. Now, next to those, we have the 4 shields, and each of the cruciform shields features, a different part of the United Kingdom. Here we've got a harp to represent Ireland. Here we've got the rampant lion for Scotland, and we've got the passant lion for England, England being on here twice. And yeah, that's about it for this side of the coin. There's crowns on top of each of the shields, and it's really pretty, really. Mine's a bit worn, so the details aren't as good as they could be, but still really pretty, regardless. This side here was engraved by a guy called Leonard Charles Wyon, who was the brother of William Wyon, who I believe has been mentioned on this channel before, as he was the official chief engraver at the Royal Mint from 1828 until 1851. Don't quote me on those dates, but I believe they are correct. If they're not, it'll say on the bottom of the screen. So yeah. And then here we go. Let's flip this coin over straight onto its side. You can see it has a reeded edge. And onto the obverse now. Here we are. This side of the coin here was engraved by Joseph Edgar Boehm, and there's not really much on this side. The lettering says Victoria de Gracia, so Victoria by the grace of God, and features her bust, where she's looking to the left, wearing a crown and her veil, and yeah, she's got some jewellery on as well. This head here, by the way, is known as the Jubilee head for Queen Victoria. So, how much is this coin worth? If they're in the UK, it's technically still legal tender. And as the prices were converted, that means that this here being a fifth of, well, a pound, it's worth 20p, technically. But in reality, no one's going to use it as legal tender, and if I do see someone trying to walk into a shop spending this as legal tender, I feel bad for the poor lady on the till. But yeah, this one here is technically worth 20p as legal tender, but if it's being sold or resold, it's actually worth quite a lot, with the Royal Mint itself selling these coins here for about £80. Obviously, the versions that they have are going to look a lot nicer than the version that I've got, because mine is really badly worn down. But overall, mine, a version like this, should be worth somewhere about 30, maybe even £40 at a push. So a coin, this coin here, 30, maybe £40, but a coin in much better condition is being sold by the Royal Mint for £80. The exact same coin, same years and stuff, just a lot higher quality than this, as mine has been worn quite heavily. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please do remember to go off and leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, tell me if there's anything you'd want me to go off and film and talk about next. Have a good one. Ta-ta.